G'day and welcome to another slow and steady video here on the channel. My name is KT and today is Biking Sunday. Taking a look at the Kawasaki ZX-6R, the 600, heading up to the iconic 1907 Tourist Trophy TT. Off the start line, throttle absolutely pinned here up to 50, 60, straight up to 100 miles an hour, and we're heading out the grandstand to St. Ninian's, I think it's called, Crossroads, emerges at the urban intersection named after the nearby St. Ninian's Church. Here we are heading down to Bray Hill. Position 0.64 miles, features a steep descent and it's absolutely pinned through there, getting lucky on that curb. Quickly coming down to Quarter Bridge Road, leads into Quarter Bridge at the 1.12 miles, sharp right hand corner spanning River Glass and named for its position at the historic boundary at the quarter. Back on the throttle here, Quarter Bridge to Glen Helen. This section of the course from Quarter Bridge to Glen Helen spans approximately 9.5 miles, transitioning from suburban areas near Douglas through villages and into rural countryside with gradual elevation changes around 200 feet. This stretch features bridge crossings, fast straights, technical bends that test riders control speeds exceeding 180 miles an hour while incorporating local landmarks and historic mills, castles, pubs named after corners here often derived from Manx Gaelic places, nearby estates and racing incidents, reflecting the danger of this entire sport of the Isle of Man TT. Now I kind of lost where we are, so we'll wait for a little kind of thing on the bottom left hand corner, but here we are, pinned 140, straight to 150, absolutely pinned through this straight. A right hander coming up here, but it's just, we're going to keep it pinned. You can watch that throttle on the right hand side. Another one here probably will take some brake as we come into here. Just watching those meters on the right. We're going to keep it pinned. Yeah, there's a bit of brake going through that one there. Still looking for a course marker. The Crosby Crossroads is at 4.7 miles. Presents a slight right hander at high speed, so perhaps that was that one there. But join me on this fun commentary as this is my quickest lap of the Isle of Man TT. I think it was under 20 minutes, so it's about 19.33. Looking for those gap in the trees there, you can just point the bike and run that throttle back and just up over Crosby. So Crosby, 4.7 miles, presents a slight left-hander. That's the left-hander there with the over 130 miles an hour, the subsequent Crosby jump. The Crosby jump at 180 miles an hour, often lifting the front wheel on landing and testing the suspension. The Gaelic Castle bend at 5.9 miles is a right-hander beside a 19th century castle bend of 5.9 miles and often gets quite damp there with the tree-lined roads, obviously, you know, especially with the conditions and stuff. The next one we're looking at is Doran's Bend at 8.3 miles. This is a hard left-hander. I think we've just gone through it, named after the Irish rider Bill Dorian. Next up, so we've got Glen Helen at Bala Bridge. This stretch from Glen Helen to Bala Bridge makes the beginning of the central mountainous ascent. I'm not putting any of these words in, characterized by the mix of tight corners, undulating terrain and high-speed straights that test riders control amid elevation. This approximately 6.7 mile segment, spanning roughly 10.5 to 17.2 miles from the start line, includes landmines named primarily after local features and historic cottages. Okay, so 130 down through here. You can see some left-handers coming up. Have got the racing line on just because, hey, it's I love it. I genuinely love the Isle of Man TT, but I don't know the course. I know bits of it now, and I'm kind of getting more familiar with, you know, as I come up on these roads and I recognise what's coming up and what's coming next. But here we are, a hard right-hander, still at 70 miles an hour, and now it's going to get pretty technical. So we're going to look out for this bottom left hand corner where it gives us a bit of a prompt of where we are, because this is my first ever commentary over a 19-minute lap, which is a personal best actually around the TT. I did it yesterday and was fairly pleased with it. So this is Glen Helen, so let me just grab that. So this is what we were talking about, exiting Glen Helen. Let's start with that. A right-hand bend about 10 miles into the course, named for the stone cottage on the outside where Sarah Corlett resided in the mid-20th century. So flat out over here, starting to get into the mountain part of the course. We're definitely out the towns for a short while. The 11th milestone, located at 11.5 miles, also known as Drinkwater's Bend. This is Creg-ny-Baa. I did see this a second, I would like to do it. So it leads directly into Creg-ny-Baa Straight, a 1.2 mile downhill run starting around 10.5 miles, where the modern superbikes routinely surpass 180 miles an hour. I think we're past that already. Translating to a hill of the dog, possibly alluding to the local legend or landmark featured in the 1930s. The 11th milestone, located at 11.5 miles, also known as Drinkwater's Bend, features a rapid left-right S-bend named for the milestone marker, possibly an early competitor, Ben Drinkwater. McGuinness's left-hander bend just before the Barragaro climb, around 12 miles, was officially named in 2013 to honour John McGuinness' 23 TT victories and multiple lap records. As the course levels towards a 15-mile mark, Rakukulin, I'm murdering these names, I do apologise, emerges as a sweeping right-hand bend, popular among spectators for its terrace viewing areas and parking, providing a brief respite before tighter turns. This precedes Birkin's Bend, about 15.25 miles, a left-hander named after the British racer Archie Birkin, who fatally crashed there in 1927. Okay, let's look for another marker on the bottom left-hand side. We are racing. Sadly, you're unable to actually choose your rider, but this is Creg-ny-Baa, and this is the Kawasaki ZX-6R Douglas Road corner. Let's see if I can find that a second. Douglas Road corner, Ramsey. I might have lost my way slightly. So we've got Bala Bridge. Is this coming out to Bala Bridge? So absolutely pinned through here. Of course, we do have the Humpback Bridge, which is really quite a dangerous piece of track, and some beautiful photos taken down by that part of the circuit. Let's look for a prompt bottom left hand corner and see if we can await. 19 minutes, a long time to fill. We're just 7-8 minutes in, so we're probably just beneath halfway around this TT circuit, and if you are familiar with the circuit, you're going to know it a lot better than me. But hey, you know, I'm a rookie, but oh, that was so lucky there, actually, on the curbs there. We're not actually racing while we're reading this out, obviously. This is a lap that I set yesterday, and figured I would throw over some commentary. So just looking for that bottom left-hander marker. I do wish actually it would have an option where you could turn on like a mode where it spoke about the history as we go around Bala Bridge. Here we are over the Humpback Bridge, and we do catch some air. Bit ginger over there, to be fair, because I didn't want to break this lap. This lap is as fast as I can go safely, and it's under 20 minutes, so I thought that was quite good. I think it ran in about 19.33, so let's see if we can catch that. Bends and hairpins, second rider, Waterworks, Tower Bends, Gooseneck. We're not at 28 miles. So here we go. The Sulby Bridge represents the fastest section of the bike, where top superbikes have recorded speeds over 206 miles an hour, serving as the official speed trap location since the 1960s. Circumventing this segment is Sully Bridge at the 23rd milestone. It's a sharp 90-degree right-hander over Sulby River, requiring abrupt braking over 200 miles an hour to 70 miles an hour. The current structure, rebuilt in 1923 as a twin-span stone bridge with steel girders, replaced an earlier humpback design to reduce the hazardous jumps. Through the corner, it remains a high-risk braking zone. Exiting Ginger Hall makes a tightening left-hander named after the adjacent historic pub, where riders navigate medium speeds amid spectator vantage points. Ginger Hall, which is what we're talking about here, marks a tightening left-hander and medium speeds amid spectator vantage points. Curnow Moor follows a series of flowing bends derived from the Manx Gaelic narrow moor. I'm murdering these names, I do apologise, meaning Great Quarter land, referencing the area's traditional land divisions positioned around the 24th milestone. With good visibility for marshal and crowds, a mid-speed left turn amid undulating farmland makes its name for Glen Trodden, the Manx Glen of the Elder Trees. This has been a site of several racing incidents due to its deceptive camber changes. So we carry on. Camber changes approaching the parish Churchtown. Are we coming into Churchtown now? Let's have a quick look. Here we go, Churchtown. We're actually on point. Churchtown presents a fast, bumpy left-hander past the historic Kirk Christ Church, a landmark since the 14th century. It gives this corner its name, demanding precise line choice to avoid runoff areas. Schoolhouse Corner, of roughly 23 miles from the start, is a medium-speed right-hand bend opposite Ramsey Grammar School, from which it derives its name, originally from Russell Corner after a fatal 1920 crash. Entering Ramsey Urban Core, Parliament Square. Have I seen Parliament Square? I do know what Parliament Square. Probably down here. Looks at that right-hander. So a left through here. Off the throttle. I think this is Parliament Square coming up here. I'm almost sure that I can see that lamppost, Parliament Square. Okay, at the 28th milestone forms one of the course's slowest points at a tight left-hand chicane through the town, centre-line with pubs and shops where riders drop below 50 miles an hour amidst dense crowds. The approach via Queen's Pier Road, named for the nearby 1886 Victorian pier, extending into Ramsey Bay, transitions from coastal flats to initial mountain climb, where the riders accelerating at the square towards the A18. May Hill rises as fast uphill straightaway, providing brief respite for gearing up before Cruikshank Corner and an off-camber right-hander at the hill base, and test tractions for slopping surfaces. Okay, let's take another breather while we have a look to where we are too. A right-hander around here, and still keeping it rubber side down, doing a fair job. Not the quickest out there, but definitely not the worst. I think we're looking at Ramsey to the Bungalow next. You can see that we're actually heading out the towns now, and we're heading up onto the mountain where we can really open up. So I think we've got 12 minutes on the clock there, 12.44. So we're still going at quite a rate. I believe the fastest time here on a 600cc was it Joey Dunlop? I can't remember the name, but I think can't remember who did it, but I think it was a 17 on a 600. That's going some. That was I think it was about 17 minutes and something. We've done it in 19 minutes, so definitely 2 minutes slower, but a hell of a lot of fun. I don't think this game is really going to get any there's no indication of another TT game on the horizon right now. Perhaps it doesn't sell that well, but I've had it since the PS2. In fact, I've got that copy upstairs, and then there was 3 recent editions. So didn't catch that name. Was it Gunther's Corner? Probably not. So navigating some of this mountain course. Now you have got to watch some of it because it's deceiving, because some of them you can take absolute flat. That was green through there, and I think we were flat through there, to be fair. Again, holding it flat, got a kink in the road coming up, just a little dink left, but we should be able to hold that pinned and just look for the sky and just keep it going. So again, pinned 150, 155, still keeping it pinned. It looks like it up to 160 miles an hour. A right-hander, again, it looks green, so we can keep it pinned 160, and got a few bends coming up now, so we're gonna have to watch it. It's still pinned through here, absolutely balls to the wall, I guess they would say. And a left-hander here, yeah, definitely backing it down just a little bit for that part there. The Ramsey to Bungalow marks the beginning of high-speed return leg featuring a series of tight bends, hairpins and elevation gains as riders from second towards the summit area, passing the water tower landmarks and shape-inspired corners. This approximately 10-mile stretch, starting around the 24th mile marker from the start line, challenging riders with increasing gradients, exposure to variable conditions, transitioning from coastal outbound path to the more technical mountain climb. The tower bends is an S-shaped series of bends, derived their name from the nearby Albert Tower, built in 1848. Let's have a look at some of this. We're definitely up on the mountain course here, and I'm not doing the best job at commentary, but hey, I'm having a go, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? So I will try and look for this. This is the Bungalow. So the Bungalow to the finish line, the final leg of the course from the Bungalow to the finish line spans approximately 2.73 miles. We're now at 15 minutes, the top right hand corner there. This is a perilous descent from the mountain summit area back into the urban of Douglas. This section is characterized by high-speed downhill straights. Intersection, I just want to look out for the pub as well, because you'll see, oh, what was the pub called? Creg-ny-Baa pub, I think that's what it's called. Let's get back to the writing. The terrain shifts from open hillside to narrow roads, with the roadside obstacles culminating in a controlled showdown zone near towards the TT grandstand. Is that the pub? Nope, we're still coming around. Still up on the mountain course. Hellwood's rise makes the initial steep climb immediately after the Bungalow crossing, transitioning into a decent phase named honour of Mike Hellwood's TT victories in 1961. We'll look out for bottom left hand corner for some more prompts on the corner names, but I think this is a left, which fairly green. We're holding it round. Should be able to hold this one flat, 130 miles an hour. As we got a right hander, this is Kempel Gate, and I think there's one more left after this one. Is it down through here? Now, one of these lefts always catch me out, so I tend to go as a bank on the right. That bank there, you've got to be really careful of, and it says it's a bit more speed than given, but here we are coming down to straight now to the famous Creg-ny-Baa pub. I hope I've got that right. I'm doing that from memory, but would love to go to the TT one day, but here we are. Dropping off lots of speed there, and I'm sure the grandstand there on the left hand side, the Creg-ny-Baa, that's what it was called. And now we're coming back on the back side of the course now. We're just a few minutes away from the end of the race, and my 19.20 I think lap coming down. Let's look for some more markers. Again, absolutely 165 miles an hour here, just breaking off rubbing off some of that speed as we come round and carry some in. There's good movement on this bike, to be fair, and yeah, I don't know, I kind of like the levers, but like you said, you can't actually make your own rider, which is a bit of a shame, I think. I think that's a missed opportunity. Hard on the brakes here to Hillberry. Now, this is where it gets super complicated. For me, I have to take my time, because it gets really narrow. It gets now this is a good corner. You watch out for this sort of like pink bush. We can hold it. There's the pink bush there on the right hand side. I forget what the pink bush is called, but I do recognize that and remember that. Hard right here, and this is signpost corner. Now this one here again is deceiving. It looks like you can go pretty flat through it, but you've got to watch it. You can run into an outside sort of bus stop area, I think. Is it here? Nope, it's not there. But there is one that I think it's signpost corner, but if you know the circuit, you know the one I'm talking about. Now here we really do need to slow down the speed, because I've spilled it here so many times. You can see we come down to a roundabout, and then we're going to whip almost sort of 180 degrees back on ourselves. I'm really gingerly coming through here, because it can be all lost, and I haven't spilt it once in this entire lap, so we're going to get careful through there, because over that roundabout there's quite bumpy, so if you pin it, certainly on the thousands, then you're going to be thrown off the bike. But that's it from me. If you like the video, smash like on the way out, that's always super appreciated. This is a 19.33. I got a penalty, I don't know why. You've seen the entire map, it's in its entirety, and a max speed of 167 miles an hour. So that is it from me today. Thank you once again for joining me on this TT lap, a crazy lap of commentary, trying to keep up where I am and not really knowing that track that well. I thought actually I might make a bit of a better video rather than me just simply kind of playing it and putting music over the top, so I thought I'd have a go. But there we go. Thanks again for joining me on this slow and steady biking Sunday. We've got the Ride 6 looking forward to coming up in February, and I think I'm going to leave that one there. But if you like the video, smash like on the way out, always super appreciated. If you got this far in the video, thank you so much, and give yourself a massive gold star. If you're subscribed, again, a massive thank you to you. Thank you for supporting the channel and being part of the SAS crew. If you're not subscribed and you kind of like your trucks, bikes and horses, then maybe this is a video for you. No, this is a channel for you. Then maybe this is a channel for you. I'll see you next time. Take good care of yourself. Happy New Year, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.